Good morning. Do you have your cup of tea? Let's just take a minute to wiggle a little, get ourselves comfortable. Feel the warmth of the teacup on your fingers. That's always a grounding feeling for me. It's something that I feel right away that draws my attention and my focus where I want it to be, which is here on my teacup. You can take a deep breath and smell your tea. Today I'm drinking rooibos. It has a light kind of floral vanilla flavor and scent. And you can let the scent of your tea ground you in this moment. You can let it be something to focus on. It can be really hard to focus our minds. I think that for so long we've all been living in such a busy state that there's really often no time to focus our minds. We just run from one thing to the next, from dropping the kids off to running to work to picking the kids up to running to home. Everybody eats something before the evening activities. And there's just always so much to do and so much distraction. And when friends ask how you're doing these days, the response is so commonly busy. Not great, but busy. Almost like that's become normal, to be only doing busy. And so now that everything has sort of ground to a screeching halt, and many people are home day after day, even people who are essential workers and have to go out may find that their lives are still different now. Now that the only thing to go out to is essential. There's no more soccer practice or movies or yoga class. And that might have all of us feeling a little restless because we're so accustomed to running from one thing to the next. And if you're feeling that restlessness, this might be a good time to wonder, was I depending on those distractions so that I didn't have to sit still with some things that maybe I don't want to look at? I don't mean the laundry. You know the things. Oh, the things I don't want to think about. The work in myself that I don't want to do. The feelings that I don't want to face. And when we're in our busy lives and our busy days, it's easy to let those things fall to the bottom of the list. But right now, where our lives are strangely less distracted, we may be finding that we're craving distraction even more. We are frantically searching for any moment of distraction because we're feeling a little bit of withdrawal from the things that used to protect us from having to face some of that emotional work that maybe we don't want to do. So if you're feeling this way, if the stuff I'm saying is resonating for you, that's fine. You don't have to want to do that work. It's not fun. But maybe we just allow ourselves a few moments with our tea to acknowledge, hey, I'm a little bit having some withdrawal symptoms from how busy I was. acknowledge that maybe all that busy was shielding me from doing some emotional work that I maybe didn't want to do. That's enough. Acknowledging this doesn't mean that you immediately have to sit down and do that work. But allowing yourself to simply say, there's some feelings in here. I notice them. There's some restlessness in here, and I notice it. I can think about where that restlessness comes from and just notice it. And then when I am frantically seeking the next distraction, at least I can say, I see what I'm doing here. I might still choose the distraction. It's okay. Do things at your own pace. But at least you can see it. I find that so helpful because when I can see clearly what's going on for me, I want to be distracted right now from some emotional work that I need to do. I want to be distracted from these uncomfortable feelings. Then I can tell the people around me that that's what's going on for me instead of taking it out on them. Because actually we all know that feeling. We all know what it's like to not want to deal with something. And we can be in that space together. We can be comrades for one another in wishing we didn't have to deal with some things. We can be in it together if we notice it. And so if you're finding that you're getting irritated a lot with the people around you, maybe ask yourself if this sudden lack of distraction has led to a restlessness of trying to avoid some emotional work. And if it has, that's okay. You don't have to feel guilty for avoiding emotional work. You don't have to run and go do the work. But acknowledging that gives you a superpower. It gives you a tool that you can use with the people around you so that at least you can say, I see that thing. I put it on my to-do list. We're not going to do it right now, but also none of us have to be stressed out about it because I can see it. Even if you have kids, this is something that kids can do too. If they're having feelings and they don't know how to manage them, they don't know how to deal with them, it's actually okay. You don't have to know how to deal with all your feelings. Feelings are hard. But if you can just say, I'm having some feelings right now and I don't like them. Now we're in it together. Instead of lashing out at one another because of the feelings that we're not acknowledging, we can be in camaraderie with one another, supporting one another as we acknowledge the things that we eventually need to deal with, even if it isn't today. So for the rest of your cup of tea, just try to breathe and smell and taste and feel the warmth on your fingers and allow you to focus. Allow those things to bring your focus just for this moment to one place. And I'll see you tomorrow with another cup of tea.